how we feel about ourselves is so crucial to the success of relationships, friendships, as well as romantic relationships. I'm reminded of doing counseling with a 22-year-old young man, and he was very depressed. He had not been getting out much. He was pretty socially isolated. Um, and and yet I'd seen him off and on for about 11 years. And so I knew him pretty well. And I also got some feedback from a colleague of mine who had seen him in the waiting room and had a nice chat with him in the waiting room, and who had told me, oh, this young man you're seeing is very, very affable and has good social skills. And so when this 22-year-old comes in, I tell him this story about how my colleague, another psychologist, said that he was affable and had good social skills, and didn't really make much of the interaction. And then a few weeks later, he came in and he said, you know, I went on a raft trip and I met a young woman and I liked her and I was attracted to her and I wanted to see her again, but that meant I had to call her, and I just was so absolutely frightened to call her that I just sat by the phone and I couldn't do it. I was frozen. But then I had this thought. I thought, Dr. John told me that I have good social skills, and his colleague told me, or told Dr. John, that I have good social skills. So I must have good social skills. I'm going to call her and I'm going to ask her out. And he did. And she said yes. And they got together. And the last I knew, they were still together, and he was doing really well. And I think a lot of it had to do with just a little nudge for him to recognize that he had good social skills, that he was a friendly person who could engage in positive conversation, and to have that thought from the counseling enter his mind and give him just that little nudge that gave him the confidence, the good feelings about himself, to be able to put himself out there, to take the risk of making the phone call. And I think we've all been in those kind of situations where we're scared to ask someone out, or we're scared to approach somebody and start a conversation. Another reason why it's so important for us to develop social skills and conversational skills that can help provide a foundation for social relationships, but maybe even more important, so it can give us confidence and we can take the risks that we need to take to get in healthy relationships.